everybody, welcome back to Hearthstone Arena Northernlion's Den. It always takes me a second to think of the name of the series. We are 1-1 in our current arena play with our Priest deck, heavily focused on basically doubling the health of our minions and then using that one card that I've forgotten the name of, Iron Will, something like that, to change the attack of our minions to be equal to their health. So we just buff a minion up to stupid degrees of health in the 10s or 20s or 30s or potentially even higher depending on what kind of cards we have in our hand, and then we just make their attack equal to that and hopefully win in a single turn. This is a deck that I think has a lot of potential, even though we got trounced in the very first game that we played against a warrior. Hopefully Beefy Burrito is not a warrior. He's a mage, which could also be a problem for us. Lots of burst damage, obviously. Inner Fire, not Iron Will. Okay. So obviously, I don't really like this opening hand, considering I'm going first. Inner Fire is going to be a card that is going to be more valuable for us if it shows up later. This has been a kind of consistent sore spot with respect to my Priest play with this deck so far, is that I just haven't really... Thank you for returning the greeting there. A lot of people don't have the common courtesy to do that. But I don't really have that many early game minions, unfortunately. This is the first time in all of our games. I apologize for my nervous tick. Just gotta knock all this stuff out here and cause the skull to come back to life. Yeah, this is the first game I've ever gotten the Light Well. It's possible that we could send that out there and get some good stuff done. Again, now, if I had kept Inner Fire, then I could now make this stupid powerful on like the third turn by doubling its health and then giving it the same attack as its health. But I think we will summon our Light Well here. Obviously, this is not going to be crazy strong, but it is at least a target for him to look for. And next turn we can send out our Taunt creature, and hopefully this will keep me alive and buff me up a little bit, because this guy now has a Sorcerer's Apprentice out here, which causes spells to cost 1 less. So if he has a very spell-heavy deck, and he has like spell power plus 1 minions that he can send out, then he can start doing some really stupid damage very, very early on in the game. I played Mage the last time I played Arena, and I had Fire Burst, or it might be Pyroblast. Whatever it's called. It's the 8-mana Mage card that does plus 10 damage, and I also had a bunch of spell power plus 1 cards, including Ancient Mage, which gives adjacent minions spell power plus 1. So I would like play this on one turn, that would give me spell power plus 2, and then on the very next turn I would just like completely tear face as a result of... Well, I was going to say, if he attacks Light Well, at the end of my turn it just gets healed anyway, right? Or at the start of my turn it just gets healed anyway, so I'm okay with that. We'll now put our Taunt creature out on the board, as one might expect. I can't really do anything else. I could double my Light Well's health, but I don't think that's that valuable. And I don't know, is this the best use of the Light Well card? Fuck if I know, but it is out there. On the next turn, I can... What is this? It costs 1 less for each card in your hand. Okay, on the next turn, I can summon Ancient Mage. He's used Polymorph to transform my Taunt creature into a sheep, which is honestly a move I don't really like that much. I much prefer... if Polymorph is used, you know, from my own personal standpoint, I much prefer using Polymorph later in the game. Where's my card? There we go. Whenever one of your minions dies, draw a card. I like that. We'll send out Cult Master, and I kind of feel like I should use my sheep to attack him and force him to waste his turn attacking my sheep, but we can get a card draw here if we want to. I don't know. It's a weird choice. I might as well try to get 1 card draw out of this at the very least, because that sheep's only going to do 1 damage to him. The card could be more valuable. Yep, that definitely could be more valuable, especially if we get like an Inner Fire associated with it. But for now, this turn's over. But yes, I much prefer when I'm playing as a mage to save those polymorph cards to really take something down like a Boulder Fist Ogre or a Mountain Giant. That being said, the rules of standard deck building do not apply in Arena, so it's totally possible that... he could... Let's see what he does. Oh my god, Pint-Sized Summoner is so fucking frustrating. Freeze all enemy minions. That means I will not be able to kill him on this turn. To kill Pint-Sized Summoner, that is, which means he can send out like a 7-mana creature next time for the cost of 5, which is pretty nasty. But we get healed a little bit by Light Well there. What do we have? 7 Molten Giant is not going to be that effective for us. But yes, what I was trying to get at for the last 2 turns is he might have 5 Polymorph cards in his deck. It's pretty unlikely, but it is within the realm of possibility. Now, Spell Power plus 1. I have no idea how this affects double a minion's health, but we don't really have anything else that we could do this turn, so I kind of just like sending him out there. And it says it gives adjacent minions Spell Power plus 1, which is why I put him in the center there. This still just causes double a minion's health, which is smart. Otherwise, that would be crazy strong. So we don't have any taunts, which is disappointing. And I'm not able to like take control of the board at all here. It's a very unusual match so far. We'll see how this goes. He's got his own taunt creature out there, which was very cheap for him to summon as a result of Pint-Sized Summoner. I'm just trying to think about how I eventually... I think he's trying to rush me down a little too quickly. I will say that. You know, even if he does 6 damage to me on one turn, I heal 3 of it, but I do have to get these minions off the board somehow. Summon a 2/2 Squire is probably not going to do it. But what else do we have here? I can play Boulder Fist Ogre. He'll get killed on the first turn. I can kill... yeah, I can totally kill Lord of the Arena. But then... They have 6 damage, I have 7 health. He could use his hero power to destroy Boulder Fist Ogre really quickly. I think I wait to use Boulder Fist Ogre and instead play it when I can also double his health. And that'll be on turn 8. Or I could use that with Mountain Giant, but we need some cards first. Okay, let's try something. If I attack him with this, I do want to... I'm going to sacrifice my Cult Master here as well. Copy 2 cards from your opponent's hand, put them into your deck. Interesting. I don't want to use it yet, though. I could also summon a Mountain Giant on this turn. I'm assuming that he probably has a Polymorph that he can use to deal with it. But it might be useful to get this out of there regardless and then see what he chooses to do. So I am going to try this. It's probably never going to be cheaper than this. I have a lot of cards in my hand. Then we'll crush him like that. I have no more mana left to spend, and I have an 8/8 creature on the board that I can buff up to fucking 8/32 on the next turn. And it's actually theoretically possible that I could kill him on the next turn. If he doesn't kill Molten Giant, and I draw an Inner Fire card, then I double the health of the Mountain Giant to 16, double it again to 32. He's going to deal 10. Oh my god, okay. I'm actually totally okay with the fact that he used Pyroblast to do damage to a creature instead of using it to... He's going to choose to destroy the Lightwell this time. Not a bad idea. But I'm totally okay with the fact that he chose to use his like really, really amazing card to totally fuck up that creature instead of using it to fuck me up, which I think is a smart play on my part. Now, 7 mana. Getting Boulder Fist Ogre out there is maybe important, but I also like the idea of Silverhand Knight. I'll have a 4/4 and a 2/2, and then I play Fade, draw a card, and all of these minions have taunt, so he has to attack them. And he's going to start to come up against some problems soon. Not that I have that many creatures, but still, I don't need that many creatures with the buffs I have. So I think we play Silverhand Knight. That summons a Silverhand Squire. Charge would be so useful here. Obviously, I hate fucking Pint-Sized Summoner. But then we'll give our minions taunt, and we've drawn Holy Nova, which I can use on the next turn to literally destroy all of those cards that he has on the board. The fact that I've let Pint-Sized Summoner stay out there for so long is borderline unforgivable, but you know, you can watch the entire match and tell me if there was any time when I could have taken it out more simply than this. But again, there's a way I could do 16 damage on the next turn, but we have to see what happens to these creatures first. I'm really glad I baited that Pyroblast out of him, because that's a card that, you know, if he just whittled me down to 10 HP, he could have just used Pyroblast to kill me instantly, basically. And yes, please summon as many creatures as you desire, because on the next turn I will be using Holy Nova to deal a lot of damage to them. So, Spell Power +1 did allow him to do a lot of damage to me there. And this does make things a little bit trickier for sure. Now it's just like, what is he going to choose to do? I don't know. Hero Blast, or the Fire Blast in that situation is weird. Is he going to choose to kill me, or is he going to... He has to kill me. I don't know why. He probably thought Spell Power +1 worked on that. So this dude has no cards left. And he... I don't know. I guess he just chose not to attack me there, which is kind of unusual. Okay, so how do we do this? Pyroblast is going to knock a lot of his shit out. But we're not going to be able to do anything at all after that. So I'm thinking it might actually be best to... I must consider... No, this is still probably for the best. Okay, so I think we use this Holy Nova. That'll heal this guy up a little bit. Unfortunately, now that he's enraged, I can't really do too much about this. He's going to end up in some tough... Actually, no, I can totally keep him alive by using a Divine Spirit. Thought Steal is obviously worthless in this situation. Is it worth it, though, to keep him alive? He'll be killed on the next turn. Maybe, what do we have? We have 9 mana on the next turn. Yeah, sure. Let's keep him alive. Let's force him to kill Ogre Magi himself.
I can't do that.
Oh, frozen characters can't attack. Okay. Well, he's still going to have to attack me on his next turn. He can use his hero power to make it work for him, though. That's okay. I totally forgot I was frozen, which is shitty. He has no cards left, and he doesn't really have that great of an advantage, in all honesty. On the next turn, like if he chooses not to buff this character, or not to do anything to this character, I can still do some serious shit to him. And the question is, okay, so he's going to kill him and do 4 damage to me. The question is, what is that secret? I believe that the secret is oftentimes like deal 4 damage to a minion. Sometimes it's like a counter spell. Sometimes it's destroy a minion who attacks it. Sometimes it's summon a copy of a minion. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to create a 5/5 Divine Shielded character here. Sorry, 5/3 Divine Shielded character. And I do like my position. I'm a little concerned. He could have another Pyroblast in his deck. It's a little unlikely. Oh, fuck these secrets, man. Is he going to use Ogre Magi to attack me or to get rid of Divine Shield? It's a good question. Oh, he's going to Fireball me, get rid of Divine Shield, and then use Ogre Magi to kill him, probably. No, okay, that's a pretty good play on his part, I would say. Now, here's the interesting question. Maybe we summon Stormpike Commando in this situation to deal 2 damage and see if that causes something to go awry here. Let's see. Deal 2 damage. Right, I totally should have used that on Ogre Magi. Holy shit, that was bad. Let's have this guy attack. Yeah, attack. Okay, there's the secret. That's what I was hoping would proc, but what does it do? Does it deal like 4 damage to that minion instead? When the minion attacks your hero, destroy it. That's fine. I think we then use 2 mana to double this minion's health. Oh, and then what is this? Counter spell? So that probably just counters the spell that I cast. Okay, so that doesn't do anything then. And then we just sacrifice this person like so. And then we heal ourselves. And on the next turn, I can summon a big baller creature and start to work this out for myself. So I'm down 6 health. I can heal myself for 2 mana per turn, which is awesome. I can summon whatever the fuck I want on the next turn. And start causing some real problems for him. And here's the real question. What do I want to summon first? Molten Giant seems like a really useful card to get out there as soon as possible. And will he be able to kill it? I don't know. Then on the next turn we do Dalaran Mage and Boulder Fist Ogre. Although that's what? That's 8 damage as well. I don't know. Is this your spells cost 1 less? That doesn't matter. He has 10 mana and no cards in his hand. Okay, so let's give him some things to worry about first. We'll summon those, deal 4 damage to him. This has been kind of a long game. I feel like there's probably been a lot of misplays. And what I did that for is in case he draws like a polymorph or something, there's not much that... Okay, it's actually a 1/7 taunt creature. That's actually kind of frustrating in all honesty. But he still has cards. He still doesn't have cards in his hand. God damn it. Okay, this is great. Change a minion's attack to be equal to his health. That means I can kill this guy in 1 turn. So we'll use that. And it seems it's not the ideal play for this, but it does allow us to kill that taunt creature in 1 turn. We only take 1 damage to that. We also wipe out his creature, and then we put our Molten Giant on the field, and now it's like, okay, you gotta finish me off pretty quickly here. There is a card in the Mage pool that does 7 damage to all minions. I'm guessing that he doesn't have it, unless this is like Arcane Blast or something. Oh, Knife Juggler. That is borderline meaningless at this point. I'm going to start to just whittle him down. You can silence a minion. Honestly, that's not even really worth it. I'd rather just do this, and this, and this, and then he's got to stop me on the next turn. So we'll heal up our Dalaran Mage a little bit. Not that it matters. He's got to kill probably every single one of these creatures on this turn with 1 card. So... this is looking like it's going to take us up 2-1, which is nice. After you cast a spell, deal 1 damage to all minions. His hero power doesn't proc that, I think. It might. I don't know. We'll see. He's probably choosing what to do now. We'll see if this does 1 damage to all minions. It doesn't. So we'll just drop a well played here. He played well, I think. Reasonably so, anyway. He might concede here. Is that why it's taking forever? And we'll just finish it off. So, kind of a war of attrition there, but we came out ahead. So, I'm pretty pleased with that, as I've mentioned a couple of times here. our priest deck, at the very least, isn't going to leave us in a 1-3 position. And again, if we get to 3-3, that's kind of where I start to consider things to be going sort of okay. So we'll play at least one more run over the course of this episode, maybe two. It depends how quickly they go off, or they happen. And that was not ideal play for me. There were a couple of mistakes I made. I really did not put myself in a great position for using my inner fire cards and doubling the health of my minions. Going second is a much preferable situation for me to be in. And honestly, I kind of like keeping Dark Iron Dwarf but getting rid of everything else. Like the double your health card, I want to save that as long as possible. So if it doesn't show up again until the end, that's fine. Oh, of course, now we get... Hello. This is an interesting one.
Greetings.
I hope that we draw a good card right off the bat. He actually was proactive with his greeting, which I appreciate. Our deck, it seems like I've put myself in this position where it's like always tough for me to get cards out early. Like I seem to quite often end up with way too many low mana spells and not enough low mana creatures. And that seems to be the major problem with this deck, is that I don't have enough low mana creatures, and that causes me to have some problems. I could use Thought Steal and copy some of my opponent's cards, but I think I'm just gonna end my turn and start to fall behind early, but hopefully draw it back in the late game. So he's got his own little arsenal out there already. Spell power +1 is always annoying when you're playing against a mage. Alright, Acolyte of Pain is something that we can summon totally fine, and then we'll see how he chooses to deal with that. We can create a very strong Acolyte of Pain if we wanted to, just with Divine Spirit and then Inner Fire. Whether I want to do that or not is an interesting question. He's going to enrage his own minion, and then he'll probably use that to destroy Acolyte of Pain, if I had to guess, which is probably a smart play. No, he's going to attack me directly, so he's going to try to probably rush me down as soon as possible. He might use his other creature to attack me, but it won't kill me in one hit, which means I'll get at least 2 card draw out of it. Freeze all enemy minions, okay. So I won't be able to attack him on the next turn, which is fine. I am losing a lot of health very, very quickly. We now have 2 double a minion's health and 2 inner fire cards. What is this? Gives a minion +2 attack. It's not really worth using that yet. But is it worth using double this Acolyte of Pain's health? He probably just has a polymorph card that he can use, but I can't really think of anything to do with 5 mana on this turn, or 4 mana on this turn. I'm going to use Thought Steal, and we'll see what cards we get from him. I got these 2 here. Next secret you play costs 0. When your opponent casts a spell, counter it. Then I'm going to use the coin, and I'm going to heal myself up. And on the next turn with 5 mana, we may double this guy's health twice to take him to 12, and then change his attack to be equal to his health, and just deal 12 damage in one fell swoop to the enemy and force him to deal with me. Nah, he's just going to kill me. We get a card draw out of it. Silence a minion. Okay, he's going to put him back in his hand, and he's going to do another 2 damage to me. Kind of interesting. He's going to have to play him again. I kind of thought he was already pretty powerful. Oh, I thought he came out at 5-1, because that's what the card flashed up with, but no such luck for him. Okay, so we've got to cause some things here. Or we got to do something is basically what I'm getting at. Why don't we summon Kyrian Tor Mage?
Many secrets.
And the next secret you play costs 0, so we might as well play Counterspell. We could silence the Amani Berserker, but I think it's a little too early to be happy about doing that. We could double the health of Kyrian Tor Mage, but it won't save it from getting killed on this turn, so I think we just restore health to ourselves, and we're very much playing the waiting game here. And that frightens me fairly substantially, but again, on the next turn, we could double its health twice, take it to 12, do 12 damage to the enemy, or we could just start, attacking these guys ourselves. We do need to establish board control, but I have 3 minions. We can finally play a taunt on the next turn. I think I've realized that my mistake in building this deck was definitely not giving myself enough taunt creatures. Alright, so he's just going to wipe that out, and that's acceptable and probably very smart. But yeah, not giving myself enough low mana creatures and not giving myself enough taunt creatures either. It's not that I've done especially badly. Even if we go 2 and 3, I've had worse arena games. But that's definitely been the problem, is that unless we get a perfect card draw, we find ourselves in a very tough situation. So, we can silence all minions. That doesn't really do all that much, unfortunately. I think we almost have to play the taunt on this turn. And then if he kills it, which he would for sure, Even if we doubled its health, he could kill it, though. So I think we get this out and we buy ourselves a turn of hopefully not taking very much damage. And maybe we get lucky and he casts Pyroblast on us, forgetting that we have Counterspell, and as a result, he takes 10 damage himself. I'm not sure if that's how Counterspell works. It seems to usually just, like, cancel the spell. But we'll see how he chooses to do this. Whether he keeps a Amani Berserker or chooses to sacrifice it to kill my taunts, which is exactly how that shit went down. I'm going to be at 10 health with not that many options, really. He's still got 4 mana left. I've got nothing on the board. He did 6 damage. Does this do 6 damage back to him instead? We'll see. I guess that's... Okay, so countering it just does nothing instead. That's fine. You know, he said whoops there, but I really would not be surprised if, in actuality, he has Pyroblast back, so he wanted to proc it with his, like, worst spell. But I can't say that with authority, necessarily. So, I could cast, Dark Iron Dwarf, and then double his health once. Could double his health twice, take him up to 16. Here's the thing. We kind of have to. I think I cast Dalaran Mage, because it's kind of a Hail Mary, don't get me wrong. I can probably just be killed on the next turn, so I don't know how to make this work. This is my Hail Mary. We double his health twice. And hope that they choose to attack him instead of attacking me. And if we get another double the minion's health, then we can do 32 damage to him directly on the next turn, but this is not going to happen. I'm pretty sure that he's just going to beat me, and that's fine. Yeah, so I can't unfreeze that minion. And there's not much I can do to stop myself from getting killed here. It seems like with this deck, I either, you know, win a long, protracted battle, or I lose like 30-0. Well played before the last turn of the game is actually a little bit bad manners, I have to say, but, you know, he's earned it to a certain extent. We'll draw a card here. Maybe it'll be the only card that matters. Don't we draw a card off that? It says we draw a card. Oh, restore 2 health to all friendly characters. That is not draw a card. Now what do we do? Even if we heal ourselves, that doesn't do anything. We'll give him 15 attack, just so this guy knows I wasn't fucking around. And then, I don't know, silence the spell power +1. And that's going to do it for this round. We'll play one more over the course of this video, just in case I lose. Then I'll be able to see what I earned from this arena. Honestly, it's been a little bit of a disappointing arena. 2-2 is not where I want to be. How many fucking well plays is this guy going to drop before he realizes that I disagree with him? He played well. I don't necessarily know that I played well. But I think my poor play mostly boils down to the way that I built my deck. The problem, maybe I'm just getting unlucky. I do have Bloodfen Raptor, but it is seriously, I guess with like 1 mana cards, they're almost, or 1 and 2 mana cards are almost all spells. I also have Lightwell. I haven't really been getting Silverback Patriarch that much either, but that's kind of to be expected. I really needed to perhaps go a little bit less spell heavy and then pick up some earlier. Let me just see. Yeah, I would love to have a few more 1 and 2 mana cards, especially minions. But, you know, we'll try to get to 3 and 3 on this. If we get the lucky card draws, we can fairly easily take a game. But if we get unlucky, or it's not even unlucky, it's just if we get what we're supposed to get, given the immutable laws of probability, then I usually find myself behind the 8 ball and I have to fight back to get it. So I'm sure in the first episode, you know, of course I record these and I can't read the comments like instantly, but I'm sure when I drafted, people were like, what the fuck are you doing? Kanav is here, though. Let's see if we can beat him. Druid is a very great class, by the way, and I'm concerned about that. So, again, we suffer from the same problem we often suffer from. Please at least give me some 3-mana creatures, if not Bloodfen Raptor. Alright, that's not good. You never want to be in a position where you're like, I need this 2-mana card. We have 2 silences, which could actually be valuable against some of the creatures that the Druid can pop out there. But we have 1 more turn to possibly draw Bloodfen Raptor. Okay, so you know what? Silverback Patriarch, I'm A-okay with that. We can't really, we might as well just use, we'll just heal him up. I hope that he realizes that that was cheeky. We should say greetings. It's always nice when you have someone who's a little bit social. The worst kind of player in Hearthstone is when you run across somebody who never says hello, but they always say like well played or oops when they're about to win. Those people are shitbags. Now, We do have some things that we can do on these next few turns. We could silence the Imani Berserker, which actually, even though that is, it's very early on, this will keep him from killing my taunt on this turn unless he has some spell that does damage to him. So this might give me a little bit of a window to get some stuff done. And if I wanted to, I could use Inner Fire and then Inner Fire, like in conjunction with my heal, would allow me to get into a position where I, okay, heal, Inner Fire. It's a tricky situation. Okay, Light Well actually seems like a much better choice here. We could silence the Death Rattle. I'm trying to think about this. It's at the start of your turn. So Light Well will not be able to stop the Silverback Patriarch from dying, I think. Yeah, it'll probably die on the next turn regardless. So what do I do with my cards then? Well, I could heal him. Then for 1 mana, I could give him 4 attack. And then it would at least take that out. I think it's fair to say I should save Lightwell for now, but the Inner Fire card is also so valuable. It's an interesting one. I say we heal our creature, and then we use Inner Fire. And normally, of course, you want to force the opponent to attack you. So then I'm going to attack him directly, and hopefully force him to lose both of his minions attacking at the altar of this slightly buffed Silverback Patriarch. This is kind of an unorthodox way of handling this, in my opinion, and obviously I would have preferred to have not used Inner Fire for this purpose. I would have preferred to save it for longer, but if I can at least maintain some semblance of board control in the early game, I usually get a lot stronger in the later game. So if I can just kind of claw my way in there and hold on, then things might have the potential to get better for me later. But who knows how his deck is built as well, right? So it could go well, it could go terribly. One thing's for sure, the way I played that last game, just kind of like sitting back and being passive, that didn't do me any favors. So he has a Divine Shield character. He is going to sacrifice both of his minions with his Death Rattle. He will get another minion back as a result of it, but I drew a card out of that as well. Oh, no, that was just because my turn ended. Okay, that makes sense. So I don't think it's the right time to use Holy Nova. I think it is the right time to use Silverhand Knight. And we could silence the Divine Shield. Let me think about how the next turn goes. Even without me doing anything, so if I don't do anything, he'll probably kill this for this, and this he'll use to attack me, or he'll use to attack him, and I'll have to do something with it. Well, we can always use Silence on the next turn if necessary. If he chooses to use his Divine Shield to attack me and not lose his Divine Shield, that's fine. Me playing Silence on this turn doesn't change that. So since Silence is a 0-mana card, and of course the longer it survives, the more well-suited it is that Claw that he's going to play next that gives him +3 attack. Oh, it gives all of your characters +2 attack this turn. That's fucking awesome. That's really good. So it turns out Silence might have been the right choice here. It depends. Yeah, okay. So he's got some good stuff out there, obviously. Acolyte of Pain is a good card to get out there, but I'm going to use Taunt instead so that my Acolyte of Pain will be protected if it comes out, and I don't think there's any need to use the Silence anymore. I'm not doing fantastically, but compared to the last game, I do think I'm in a little bit more of a survivable position. I've already done more damage to him than I did on the last game, so that's something to be said. And we'll see if we end up being able to pull something out here. Obviously, now I'm looking for these like later game characters. Now that we're minions. Now that we're at 6 mana, I would love to get a Boulder Fist Ogre, Mountain Giant. I have another giant that, like, I have Molten Giant or Magma Giant and Mountain Giant. So one of them is costs 1 less for the number of cards in your hand. Obviously, that's the one I want less here. Destroy a minion, your opponent draws 2 cards. I'm kind of okay with it. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Boulder Fist Ogre. Your minions cost 3 more is a super fucking frustrating card. Because, you know, even though it causes him to kind of limit the amount of minions that he can send out, it's also really, really fucking frustrating because it does so much damage for a 5-mana creature. I could silence it. That would only be doing him favors, though. So, what's our 2-mana card? It's Lightwell.
Must consider.
There's not much point in sending out Boulder Fist Ogre yet, because he'll just be killed in one hit by this guy. But if he chooses not to hit him, I don't even have Inner Fire. This is not looking great. I could easily kill one of these, but that's not worth anything.
Nature will rise against
The light shall burn him. I just want him to know that. Holy Nova doesn't really do anything for us. Yet. Maybe we send out Stormpike Commando and Lightwell on this turn and just hope that he, uses these guys to soak up some damage. I don't know. That might have been a terrible play. So I'll just say, oops, maybe we'll lure him into a false sense of security. To be honest with you, I kind of think that I am headed for my first 2-3 arena in a little while, and that's going to be a disappointing way to bow out, because I'm definitely not going to earn enough to just buy my way back in with in-game currency. But the game is far from over here. I think that's probably the right play, is use your sweet-ass Eagle to crush the Lightwell. Maybe I should have just healed myself instead, but then he would have ended up doing 7 damage to me, and I don't know how long I can survive stuff like that. I've got to kind of send something out there to soak up some damage. Yeah, that's another play that I think is pretty smart. Keep board control. Not that I should be giving him advice by any stretch of the imagination. How do I pull myself out of this? We need a double health Inner Fire, and then Boulder Fist Ogre can start doing like 20 damage, because I can give him +3 HP. He's still got 5 mana left, bunch of cards in his hand. He's actually got 6 mana, so he can summon a couple of really good cards here. Or, oh, right, because of the asshole Eagle Man. Give a friendly minion +3 health. Okay. Unfortunately, there's no synergy that I can make work here. Holy Nova. You've been out too long in the Midnight Sea. Maybe we Holy Nova Acolyte of Pain? We could silence the taunt creature. That doesn't do anything, though. Yeah, I guess use Holy Nova. It doesn't even kill anything, but then we'll send Acolyte of Pain out here. And I guess we just end our turn after this point. I'm assuming he's going to use the Grizzly Bear to attack me, unless he can just kill me himself directly. And he'll probably use the Birdman to attack me directly. And that'll do a lot of damage, obviously. But we'll see how this works. I can really buff the shit out of this Acolyte of Pain on the next turn. Oh, he's just going to crush it with that, actually. Which would be kind of a weird choice. But I guess maybe he wants to keep his Taunt Grizzly alive, which makes some sense. It's a very weird choice, though. I think so. He's got Chillwind Yeti out there, which was obviously very expensive, but he's got a lot of good stuff. Alright, so change a minion's health to be equal to its, or change a minion's attack to be equal to its health. Obviously a super useful card. I gotta kill this dude first, though. How do I kill this man? I think I'm just running out of time here. We're gonna use Thought Steal, and hopefully I get some cards from him that help me out. Choose one. Charge or +2 health and taunt. Okay. This changes things slightly. Although I still... I have to get rid of this fucking Grizzly Bear first. So I guess we send out Loot Hoarder. And then what? Oh, shit, man. I don't know. Okay, well, actually, here's what we can do. Send this guy out here. We'll give him Charge. And then we'll use Silence on the Grizzly Bear, which is a total waste. But it will at least take out this man. Now he'll be able to summon creatures with Reckless Abandon. But on the next turn, Boulder Fist Ogre, +3 health if he still survives. Temple Enforcer, and then Inner Fire, and we can maybe do some damage. On the bright side, he's not going to be able to kill me on this turn, and that might give me the window I need to have a small chance of success. What does he have here? Core Hound. He can totally kill me on the next turn, and I don't even know if I can honestly stop him in any way. So this is probably going to be me bowing out of this arena in a very disappointing fashion, and I do apologize for that, but you know, here's how I'd want to do it. Boulder Fist Ogre, +3 health. Even with us healing ourselves, we don't really do anything. But I got to, basically. So, you know, well played to him. I got my ass kicked in the course of this episode. It's very unfortunate, but shit happens. That's the worst arena play I've had in a long time. We'll see what we get. Maybe I'll get some useful cards at the very least to compensate for it. But suffice it to say, maybe I should stick to some other classes, or be... I took a long time to come up with my deck in this one, or slightly longer at the very least. And that didn't really help me out at all. So that is a 2-3 arena, and I apologize for my poor play there. I think that apology is deserved as well. Mostly, I think I just fucked up substantially in the deck building aspect. I got trounced 3 times and eked out 2 very close victories. So we'll see what we get. 10 Arcane Dust, 30 Arcane Dust, 5 Arcane Dust, a pack, and 5 in-game gold. Wow, that's bad. And we'll go open up our pack of cards now. See what we get. All this stuff's going to be erased when the game actually comes out. We have 1 rare. Let's see what else we got. Oh, so that's the card we had, Druid of the Claw. Battle Rage for Warriors, Spiteful Smith. I actually like Spiteful Smith a lot for certain classes. And our rare is Mage Vaporized Secret, which is really useful. That was terrible. I apologize. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments, especially the ones that have constructive criticism. If you liked the video in spite of my ineptitude, good lord, I would appreciate it if you click the like button and help me out a little bit. Leave a comment letting me know what you liked or did not like about the video or my terrible play. And as always, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more daily Hearthstone. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode in spite of my ineptitude, and I will see you next time.